You've tried budgeting, you've made the spreadsheets, you've tracked your expenses, and maybe even cut back on some things, but somehow it's still not working. Money keeps disappearing, unexpected expenses keep popping up, and honestly, you're feeling really frustrated and ready to give up. If any of that sounds familiar, you're not alone. A lot of people struggle with budgeting, and it's not because they're bad with money, but because they're making small mistakes that add up. So, in this video, we're going to go over 11 reasons why your budget may not be working, but more importantly, how to fix it so that you finally take control of your finances. Number 11 is probably the most important and the most underrated reason why you're having trouble sticking to a budget. It's like never talked about, and we're going to talk about it and stop having it be something that is shameful. All right? So let's get started. So, hi, I am Eva. I am the founder of Fierce Rich Money. After more than 2 years of unemployment, I find myself back in debt. But this isn't my first time. I know exactly what to do to get out of debt. I paid off debt before using my own plan, and I'm doing it again. And this channel is all about everyday personal finance, real practical strategies to get out of debt, to build financial security. There are no extreme or unrealistic methods. There's no shaming, no judgment, just down-to-earth advice that works. And if that's what you need, please like, share, and subscribe so we can get help to more people out there and help them break free from debt and take control of their money. All right, so 11 reasons why your budget isn't working and how to finally fix it. Number 1, you're not being realistic. Your budget is too strict. If your budget is so tight that you feel deprived and it's hard to stick with, then you gotta change that. You need room for flexibility, because if not, it leads to frustration and burnout and constantly feel like you're missing out. Listen, FOMO is real. You're more likely to give up on your budget altogether. So make sure your budget includes some flexibility and room for the occasional treat. All right. 2, you're not tracking. If you don't track your spending, you may be overspending without even realizing it. Use an app, use a spreadsheet, budgeting binder, whatever. Just stay on top of it. Number 3, you're not giving your money a job. You work, so should your money. If you don't allocate your income, it will disappear without you knowing where it went. I have a playlist of different budgeting methods that you can use. Find the one that you're most comfortable with that works for you. 4, you're ignoring irregular expenses. Bills like car repairs, gifts, annual fees, they sneak up on you, and if you don't plan for them. Set aside sinking funds for these, and if these aren't accounted for, they will totally throw off your budget and lead to more financial stress. I just paid my annual Prime membership. For me, it's totally worth it. So for you, it might not be, but for me, yes, worth it. All right, number 5, you're relying on willpower alone. A budget should work with your habits, not against them. Automate savings and bill payments so you don't have to rely on self-control. Look, if willpower alone worked, we would all be skinny, wouldn't we? 6, your budget doesn't reflect your real income. Sometimes budgets fail because they're based on an inaccurate picture of your income. If you're using outdated or incorrect figures, it's going to end in tears. So make sure your budget reflects your current income any side hustles, any irregular earnings. Um, and when your income changes, adjust your budget accordingly to keep it accurate. 7. You've overestimated your savings potential. Look, it's easy to get excited and set like these overly ambitious savings goals, but if these goals are too high, it'll hurt you when you don't meet the goal. Set realistic and achievable savings goals based on your actual financial situation. Slow progress is still progress and less discouraging than trying to save more money than you can realistically save. Number 8, you're not adjusting for life changes. Life changes, so should your budget. If you're not adjusting to reflect those changes, like a new job, moving, shift in expenses, your budget might not work. When you experience any sort of life change, review your budget, make the necessary adjustments. This keeps it relevant and effective in managing your new financial situation. And FYI, you should be doing this every month anyway. Okay. Number 9, your budget lacks an emergency fund. So, it's like a ship without a lifeboat. If an unexpected expense comes up that you haven't planned for, it can sink you. Include any savings in an emergency fund in your budget. Life is going to happen. Be prepared. Number 10, you're not motivated enough. Without a strong why, it's easy to give up. So set clear financial goals, whether it's getting out of debt, saving for a house, or achieving financial freedom. When you're not feeling motivated or feeling like tempted, remind yourself of your why. Number 11, the most important one, you're ignoring the emotional side of budgeting. Though, finally, so many budgets fail because they don't consider the emotional side of money. Look, if your budget feels like a punishment, you're not going to stick with it. If you feel like you don't deserve to be debt-free or be comfortable in life, you're not going to stick with it. If you feel unworthy or less than, you're not going to stick with it. I don't know how many of you out there need to hear this, but you are worthy. You are deserving. Getting into debt is not something to be ashamed of. Things happen. Just accept it and work your way out of it. Incorporate funds into your budget that align with your values and bring you joy. Funds for things you enjoy. And remember that budgeting is about finding balance, not deprivation. If your budget isn't working right now, don't get discouraged. Make a few adjustments, address some common pitfalls. You know what? That may be all it takes, which would be great. By understanding these mistakes and making the necessary changes, you can create a budget that truly works for you. So that is it. Number 11 is never talked about because I don't know why, but money is emotional and it's something that you need to work on. Read books on that and all right. So I hope you enjoyed this, those who stayed to the end, and I will see you in the next one.